I don't think many people talk about this often, but New Line Cinema has kind of saved horror for the 2020s. Yeah, they've always been in a notable part of this through many horror films was one of those. But last year, it was their big year where they released two of the most uh, actual for horror films with critics and audiences is with both Sinners and Weapons. And it's no surprise that the studio wants to continue in you creating more, or to help stand and out and try and make films on par with those two. Which leads us to the subject of today's review, They Will Kill You. And I didn't really know much about this film, but when I saw the trailer, I thought, okay, this looks fun. I'll give this a go. Oh. Oh, and honestly, yeah, this was fun. And I enjoyed this one. And this one was less of a serious type of horror and more like a fun unslasher. Sure. First of all, I want to note this one came out at a similar time to it. You Ready or Not 2, Here I Come. And I bet you're wondering, why am I talking about that one? And when I'm supposed to be doing a review on They Will Kill You, well, after watching this film, and I realised that this film shared a lot of similarities to the Ready or Not films. Including having a lead protagonist. This is who has to survive the night from this Satan like cult. That wants to kill her. It even shares some similarities to the sequel with having Asia's sister Maria being involved. So now Asia has to protect her and make sure the two of them get out safely. I think it's safe to say that storytelling is not the film's best aspect. In fact, I really hope that releasing this next Ready or Not 2 was just a coincidence. And because for the most part, I did feel like I was watching a rip-off of the Ready or Not film. And so it was hard for me to look past all the similarities. However, but when I was able to look past the similarities and focus on the film itself, I realised that this film did something that many other films that rip off other films failed to do, and that is copy the part where they make a great movie. I enjoyed both of the Ready or Not films. In fact, I plan to talk about the sequel in another review. And I still enjoy They Will Kill You, and that's mainly done with the kills and action. Those moments are highly intense and engaging from beginning to end, and with a lot of exciting moments. And a reason why they're so exciting is thanks to the editing and the cinematography. The cinematography, it gets the right angles you need to make the action and kills as intense and exciting as possible. But the editors do a fantastic job of making everything flow together, while adding a few quick cuts to make the action you need to stand out from other films. I also thought the actors were really good in this one. This is especially the case with Zazie Beetz. He's honestly, I don't really know much of the films she's been in other than the Bad Guys film, but her performance in this was really good. Good as Asia. Sure. I definitely enjoyed her, but with my Halat, who played Ada's sister, the Maria. Yeah, I do think that the sibling dynamic could have had a bit more focus in the feature, as it was only shown as a minor thing in this film. But it doesn't change the fact that they were still also all the characters, as well as some great actors. And they're up against some really intriguing threats. As the hotel elder two of them have some really unique antagonists, especially with like these mutants that can regenerate any parts of their body that get cut off, which makes them a lot harder to kill. And our characters would first think. The film also has some pretty fun, uncomedic moments. It's nothing too serious, but they weren't enough to ruin the tone of the feature, and I still had fun regardless. So overall, technically yes, They Will Kill You is kind of a rip-off of the Ready or Not films. However, but I will say that for a rip-off, this was still an enjoyable feature. Well, the story is definitely basic, and the writing could have done a lot more to be more original. The film more than makes up for with some great kills, also olive visuals, intense action, and great acting. If you're just looking for a fun little slasher, then I would recommend this one. If you can try focusing on its own thing, or not comparing it to either Ready or Not films, then you will also have a good time. Yes, I saw a lot of similarities to the Ready or Not films with this one, but that didn't change the fact that I was still able to enjoy this film a lot on its own, and that's why I'm giving the feature an 8 out of 10. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!